Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. Again, this atrioventricular reciprocating tachycardia are also known as Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. In this syndrome, there is, okay, I will draw it here. Here is the heart, right, and here is the AV node. In this disease, the signals from the SA node not only pass from the AV node, but it also pass from the SS3 pathway and enter to the and depolarize the ventricular myocardium, right? What really happens in Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, the SA node, the signals from the SA node are not only enter into the AV node, but also it goes down into the ventricle through SS3 pathway, and this SS3 pathway along with this normal pathway collectively discharge this ventricle, and the condition are known as Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. And this Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome are further divided into three categories. First one is sinus Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, right? Second one is orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, and third one is antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, right? So in the first condition, that is sinus Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. Okay, in the sinus Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, what really happens, this ventricle is depolarized from AV node as well as from the SS3 pathway, but this SS3 pathway is fast as compared to AV nodal pathway, and the reason being because AV node has less gap junctions as well as their cells are small in size as compared to the myocytes present in the SS3 pathway. They have long lasting cells and also have gap junctions, and due to which the signals from the SA node that passing from the SS3 pathway depolarize early as compared to AV node. The signals from the AV node also depolarize the ventricle, but in a later. First this SS3 pathway depolarize, and that's why normally what will happen in ECG, the P wave followed by isolated line and then form QRS complex, again T wave, right? But in sinus Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, what really happens, the P waves are normal, but there is no delay, and QRS complex are directly formed because the AV nodal delay shows the PR interval, but there is no PR interval because these ventricles are discharged from the this SS3 pathway, and due to which there is no delay and P wave is directly stimulate the QRS complex, right? And also QRS complex are wide, and why QRS complex are wide, because after passing from the AV node, the signals goes into the bundle of His and Purkinje system, and bundle of His and Purkinje system is the fast system. Again, bundle of His and Purkinje system is very fast as compared to this SS3 pathway, right? So in SS3 pathway, conduction is fast, but it is not fast as bundle of His and Purkinje system, and that's why the QRS complex form in SS3 pathway. The QRS complex forms through SS3 pathway is always widened, because if Purkinje system depolarize the ventricles, the QRS complex are always narrow because it is fast. It is the fastest, we can say it is the fastest pathway in the whole heart, right? And the second one is orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, and what really happens in, okay, now let's come to here. Now come to here. What really happens in orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, the signals from the SA node come down into the AV node, and from AV node they pass again into atrium through SS3 pathway in a retrograde manner. Again, when this SA node discharge the AV node, they depolarize the ventricle, and as well as the signals goes up through the SS3 pathway and depolarize the atria again, and they produce the tachycardia, and this condition is known as orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome. Okay, in sinus Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, the two pathway are formed, and both of these pathways only discharge the bundle of His and ventricles. But in orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, the SN node discharge the AV node, and this AV node not only discharge the bundle of phase but also discharge the accessory pathway, and this accessory pathway goes up into the atria and produce tachycardia. So in orthodromic, what you really found, you found that P wave is inverted. The P wave is inverted because the current entering from down to up, and due to which they produce the current that is negative in this, due to which the ECG show P waves in a down, right, and normal QRS complex and T waves also. So if you find P waves in lower side, now the probability reason is orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. And again, orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome is the most common form of Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. It's the most common form of, it is the MCQ's point, it is the most common form of, yes, Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. And the third one is antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. In this syndrome, it is opposite to the orthodromic. Antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome is opposite to the orthodromic. What really happens in antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, the ventricles are discharged from the accessory pathway, and this accessory path, the signals from the accessory pathway not only discharge the ventricles but also goes up through the AV node, enter into the atrium and depolarize the atrium, and this condition is known as antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. Again, the signal from the SN node pass into the accessory pathway, and this accessory pathway discharge the ventricles, and also it goes through the AV node into the towards the ventricle, towards the atrium, and discharge the atrium in a retrogradely manner. So antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome is the opposite form of orthodromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, and this antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome normally found in atrial fibrillation. The characteristic feature of antidromic Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome is appear when atrial fibrillations are found, right? So these are some junctional tachycardia.